Dinar shift. Welcome back to the channel where we cut through the noise and deliver the grounded factual breakdown you need to navigate the ever-evolving discussions surrounding the Iraqi dinar. Before we embark on this detailed exploration, let me present the core topic that has captivated and often confused the currency community, the persistent and widely circulated claim that the Iraqi dinar has attained or been assigned a fixed exchange rate of $2.31. This specific valuation, 231 cents, is a number that has been exponentially amplified across online forums, social media, and various dedicated investor networks, creating a vortex of attention, intense anticipation, and profound emotional responses from those following the currency's journey. However, the fundamental purpose of this channel and this script is not to fuel speculation or validate whispers as fact. Rather, it is to rigorously dissect the origins of this claim, understand the mechanisms of its circulation, and provide a clear, responsible perspective that every holder needs to grasp, especially here in 2025. We promise no confusing financial jargon or overly complex terminology, just a simple, systematic, and honest deep dive. This $2.31 fixed-rate claim stands as one of the most significant talking points within the community today. It is frequently discussed as if it represents a historic, long-awaited moment, a massive shift in the dinar's intrinsic value compared to its officially and publicly listed exchange rate provided by well-known, regulated financial institutions. The tremendous significance attached to this number, should it ever materialize, is why it garners such intense focus. Yet, a crucial piece of the puzzle often goes overlooked. These compelling conversations tend to originate and spread through informal, non-official channels, such as closed message groups, private chats, and word-of-mouth networks, completely bypassing any formal governmental or central bank announcement. This structural reality means that the number's popularity continues to surge, gaining momentum purely from repetition even in the complete absence of any verified documented confirmation. The hope, curiosity, and lively debate it generates are powerful enough to keep the topic burning bright. In the paragraphs that follow, we will be meticulously tracing how such precise, high-stakes claims arise, the methods by which they achieve widespread distribution, and the essential, critical questions a responsible currency holder must ask themselves whenever such bold figures suddenly appear within the online chatter. Understanding the psychology of the discussion is arguably as vital as understanding the verifiable financial reality it purports to describe. The speed and intensity with which claims of a $2.31 fixed rate proliferate are deeply rooted in human psychology and the dynamics of long-term investment. For individuals who have held the Iraqi dinar for many years, often a decade or even longer, there is a natural, persistent inclination to seek out any and all updates, signs of forward movement, or compelling reasons to believe that a significant event might be imminent. Hope, in this context, subtly transforms into a form of emotional investment that sustains engagement even when concrete financial progress remains elusive. A specific, seemingly precise number, such as $2.31, when cited confidently by someone within a forum or video, immediately conveys an illusion of accuracy and authoritative sourcing. This perceived precision makes the number feel credible, leading communities to enthusiastically repeat it until it graduates from a simple comment into a dominant, community-wide talking point. This mass circulation, however, only indicates the number's popularity, not its verification. Grasping this critical distinction is paramount for maintaining a grounded, rational perspective. Our objective here is to explore the conversation itself, not to endorse the claim as a confirmed reality, ensuring our viewers remain informed, steady, and clear-minded. An additional, powerful factor, propelling the $2.31 topic to the forefront, is the nature of online content creation, particularly on platforms like YouTube. Many creators frame these unverified claims as breaking news, even when every official financial authority remains completely silent on the matter. The internet's ecosystem is structured to reward compelling, emotionally charged headlines. Algorithms favor videos featuring dramatic, sensational titles because they generate significantly higher click-through rates. This creates a self-reinforcing feedback loop. Creators seeking high viewership are incentivized to select the most attention-grabbing numbers. Once a figure like $2.31 appears in one successful video, it is inevitably repeated, shared, and reposted across the network until it begins to feel profoundly familiar to the audience. For many viewers, this sheer familiarity can gradually morph into acceptance or even outright belief. The core responsibility of this channel is to intercede and break this cycle of automatic acceptance. We transparently report on what the community is discussing, but we rigorously pair that with an analysis of what is definitively verified and what is not. This responsible approach allows our viewers to stay fully informed without being swept up by sensational hype. Therefore, as we continue this extended breakdown, always remember, the discussion is undeniably real, but the claims themselves demand careful, evidence-based scrutiny. Let us now focus on the terminology itself, specifically the phrase fixed rate, which is a central reason for the community's intense excitement. In simple economic terms, a fixed rate is an official policy where a nation's government or central bank sets its currency to maintain a stable, unmoving value relative to another currency, such as the US dollar, or a specific standard. Some countries adopt fixed exchange rate systems because they inject a vital layer of predictability into international trade and financial planning. However, any announcement concerning a fixed rate represents a colossal official government-level decision. These are not updates that are subtly hidden, kept secret, or quietly murmured to select online groups. They emanate from official political and institutional bodies, delivered with absolute clarity and backed by comprehensive, publicly accessible documentation. Consequently, when you encounter individuals casually discussing an alleged fixed rate of $2.31, the most critical question you must immediately pose is, if this were genuinely real, would it not already be undisputed GL? Obel news? Plastered across every major financial outlet on the planet? Asking this question helps you process online chatter without succumbing to unnecessary emotional highs or stress, keeping you firmly grounded in the realistic mechanics of how currency systems operate on a global scale. While the officially recognized financial reality of the dinar has not been altered by these rumors, the conversational landscape has certainly shifted, becoming preoccupied with the hypothetical implications of a $2.31 valuation. Much of the community conversation revolves around what such a number would mean, imagining everything from life-changing surges in financial value to the long-awaited culmination of years of patience. A segment of the audience openly expresses a deep-seated belief that Iraq is destined, as part of its ongoing economic ascent and progress, to eventually revalue or structurally adjust its currency. The enduring recurrence of these conversations is inherently tied to Iraq's recent history, a nation that has navigated significant, decades-long political, economic, and structural transitions. Wherever a country is actively engaged in a deep process of national and economic rebuilding, speculation about its financial future is a predictable and persistent outcome. Those discussing a $2.31 rate are essentially giving voice to their hopes, rather than reporting on actual, confirmed official updates. Thus, while today's comprehensive script explores this specific claim in minute detail, it does so strictly as a factual breakdown of current community discussion, never as a confirmation that anything official is currently taking place. This dedication to absolute transparency is what keeps our reporting honest and responsible. A significant psychological dynamic explains why so many long-term currency holders gravitate specifically toward numbers like $2.31. Historically, a small handful of global currencies have experienced dramatic, substantial increases in value following pivotal moments of major economic reform or profound political stabilization. These examples exist, but they are exceptionally rare and unfold only under a highly specific, complex set of real-world conditions. Individuals closely following the dinar's long storyline often draw comparisons between Iraq's potential trajectory and these rare historical precedents, harboring the hope that an analogous event might eventually unfold. This comparison does not constitute a prediction, nor does it guarantee a future event. However, understanding the source of these comparisons is key to explaining why certain valuation numbers gain such overwhelming traction. The $2.31 claim, therefore, functions as a powerful symbol of the community's collective hope rather than an accurate reflection of verifiable financial data. In the course of this breakdown, our central aim is to equip you with the mental framework necessary to distinguish hope, rumor, and speculation from objective, factual reporting, enabling you to navigate these discussions with clarity and realistic expectations, entirely free from confusion or baseless anticipation. Turning our attention to the structure of online conversation, we can observe a distinct pattern when a dramatic claim begins to circulate. It typically starts within a small, often self-described, exclusive group that asserts access to non-public, insider information. These groups frequently employ alluring terms like tiers, private exchanges, or secret notifications. Because such language evokes an atmosphere of mystery, exclusivity, and privilege, it powerfully draws people in. This specialized vocabulary makes the claim feel special or important, even when there is absolutely zero evidence to substantiate the claim. Over Tim. As more individuals repeat what they have heard, the claim diffuses and spreads wider. Eventually, this process results in thousands of people repeating the exact same message, despite the message still lacking any confirmed authoritative source. This is the precise mechanism by which the $2.31 number ascended to the status of a dominant talking point. Crucially, it did not originate from official government or financial channels. It was born from community conversation. This distinction is vital because it explains why every responsible holder must maintain a stance of caution, realism, and impeccable knowledge. Let this serve as a key, powerful reminder for every viewer watching today. In the world of public finance, major systemic currency changes simply do not happen quietly or in secret. They are never facilitated through hidden groups receiving privileged early updates. If a nation were to adjust its currency, even by a modest amount, the entire interconnected global financial system would register and react instantaneously. This vital information would immediately surge through official institutional networks, across banking platforms via global currency tracking services, and onto every international reporting platform. Therefore, when you hear someone declare, "This rate is confirmed and active," you must immediately pause and pose the critical challenge: confirmed by whom? Which recognized authority has issued this statement? If the information is not verifiable and directly sourced from publicly recognized official financial authorities, then it is, by definition, not confirmed. It may be discussed, repeated, or widely rumored, but it remains unverified. Understanding this simple yet powerful principle is the cornerstone of participating in these conversations without being completely overwhelmed by claims that are unmoored from current financial reality. We should now address why specific, precise numbers, such as $2.31, appear in these rumors instead of more general, vague statements. When an individual offers a seemingly precise value, it triggers a stronger, more visceral emotional reaction in the listener. It feels calculated, official, and definite, even if it is entirely fabricated. Within currency rumor circles, the use of highly specific numbers is a deliberate tactic intended to give claims a powerful veneer of believability. The number $2.31 is not chosen at random in these discussions. It is repeatedly invoked precisely because it sounds like a value that might be extracted from a central bank spreadsheet, a high-level policy document, or a government financial table. This compelling illusion of detail is a major psychological force that keeps the rumor circulating year after year, often across multiple online generations. However, being truly informed requires a deeper understanding. A number can sound incredibly convincing and detailed without being verified in the slightest. It requires only a few confident voices, repeatedly echoing a precise figure, to make an entire community begin to accept its reality. That is why we consistently encourage every viewer to take a deep breath, step back, and engage their critical thinking whenever they encounter claims that appear too perfect, too dramatic, or too good to be true. The core mission of this video is to responsibly deconstruct these rumors and present you with an unambiguous, carefully balanced perspective. It is also vital to examine how large, enthusiastic online communities can unintentionally become powerful amplifiers of unverified claims. When a provocative statement is posted, especially one framed as positive news, the segment of the audience that most wants it to be true will often share it instantly, before ever conducting any basic fact-checking. This behavior initiates a rapid, self-perpetuating chain reaction. Within a matter of hours, thousands of individuals may be repeating a narrative that originated from a single, unverified comment or a solo video. The wider the claim spreads, the more a perceived legitimacy is assigned to it, particularly by newcomers to the discussion. This phenomenon is by no means unique to the Dinar community. It is a feature of all online high-stakes discussions. However, currency conversations are amplified because they are inherently linked to deep, personal financial hopes. When that powerful emotion of hope merges with the fertile ground of rumor, the resulting narrative can become intensely and deceptively convincing. This is precisely why responsible channels like this one anchor their content in calm, evidence-based analysis. Our goal is for viewers to understand the full scope of the conversation without being dragged down by the emotional undertow of raw speculation. The $2.31 claim serves as a textbook example of how a solitary number can take on a complete life of its own, even in the absence of any official confirmation. Another crucial dimension is the emotional reaction of long-term holders when bold, exciting claims emerge. Many individuals have been holding their Dinar notes for years, meticulously storing them in secure locations, folders, or safes. Over such a long time frame, it becomes entirely natural to search for any signal, any indication that this immense patience may eventually yield the desired financial outcome. This profound emotional attachment lends an immense power to large, seemingly exciting claims. Even if a holder's rational, logical mind suggests the claim might be unverified, the sheer possibility remains deeply attractive. This highlights the absolute necessity of separating emotional investment from objective, factual info. Hope is a perfectly acceptable human emotion, and interest is a commendable motivator, but making financial decisions based solely on unverified rumors carries a high risk of misunderstanding and inevitable disappointment. In this script, we break down these complex dynamics so that our viewers can maintain realistic expectations and remain firmly grounded, particularly when confronted by circulating claims, such as the alleged $2.31 fixed rate in 2025. The greater the clarity one possesses, the stronger and more secure one feels when navigating these intense, high-stakes discussions. Let us now explore why the nation of Iraq so frequently becomes the epicenter of this type of currency speculation. Iraq is a country endowed with extraordinary natural resources, most notably massive oil reserves. It possesses a large population, is actively pursuing expansive development projects, and is engaged in ongoing significant economic reforms. Due to these potent factors, there is a natural tendency for people to speculate intensely about the nation's potential financial growth and future trajectory. When a country is actively engaged in rebuilding, restructuring, or modernizing its economy on such a scale, it inherently becomes a lightning rod for speculation. Various communities observe Iraq's undeniable potential and begin to imagine a wide array of possible long-term outcomes. However, it is fundamentally important to remember that imagining possible outcomes is distinct from confirming actual outcomes. The conversation surrounding the $2.31 number does not originate from official Iraqi financial institutions. It stems from a communal fusion of people's hopes and the country's recognized economic potential. This powerful blend of optimism and rumor is precisely why the conversations spread with such unparalleled speed. In today's video, we make this difference explicitly clear, so that viewers feel empowered by knowledge rather than confused by conjecture. Understanding the bright line between sheer potential and official confirmation is absolutely critical for a responsible perspective. Another common topic frequently discussed in online currency groups is the concept of structured exchanges or tiers. These phrases are recurrent in online communities focused on currencies like the dinar. The inherent issue is that this terminology is rarely, if ever, connected to real, verifiable banking or financial processes. Instead, they operate as potent buzzwords that sound significant and exclusive, but entirely fail to reflect official, regulated financial procedures. Real, operating banks adhere to publicly defined, transparent, and regulated processes. They absolutely do not manage hidden tiers, quietly run secret exchange groups, or conduct secret, early access programs for currency revaluation events. Therefore, when you hear individuals attempting to link the $2.31 claim to terms such as Tier 4, billions, or structured liquidity releases, you must understand that these are specific elements of online rumor vocabulary, not functional components of actual global banking systems. Our essential mission is to assist viewers in clearly separating the mechanics of real-world finance from the terminology rooted in speculation and rumor. When you fully understand this distinction between fact and fiction, you are equipped to approach the conversation with a demeanor that is calm, rational, and profoundly confident. Let us also clarify the crucial difference between simple market rumors and formally recognized financial updates. A recognized financial update is issued by an official, authoritative institution. This could be a central bank, a government entity, or a major international financial organization. Such an update is invariably published publicly, clearly documented, and instantly verifiable by anyone. A market rumor, by contrast, is informal and often originates from an email, a text message, a forum post, or a YouTube video. Its diffusion relies on conversation and repetition, not on official documentation. The $2.31 claim undeniably falls into the category of a market rumor because no recognized, legitimate financial institution has issued an announcement or validation of such a rate. Nevertheless, despite being unverified, this claim is a very real part of the ongoing community conversation. This is why we address it, not to validate its truth, but to explain the pathways by which rumors travel and the profound influence they exert on people's expectations. When viewers learn to accurately identify the difference between an unverified rumor and an official verification, they become far stronger, more confident, and more grounded decision-makers. That is one of the primary, non-negotiable goals of this channel: to inform, not to excite, to clarify, not to confuse, and to present all information with the highest degree of responsibility. Should now pivot to the practical, actionable side of this discussion. What concrete steps should a holder take when they encounter persistent, dramatic claims such as the $2.31 rumor? The first, most important step is to remain calm. Large, exciting numbers are designed to generate large, often overwhelming emotions, but maintaining a grounded perspective is essential for keeping your thinking lucid and clear. The second, mandatory step is to seek confirmation directly from verifiable official public sources. If a purported rate or change is not announced and published through official established channels, then it is, simply put, not confirmed. The third step involves a realistic review of your holdings, basing your perspective not on what an anonymous person online claims, but solely on the verified, objective information available from official currency trackers. Finally, the fourth step is to avoid making rushed or emotional decisions. Rumors often provoke a state of panic or extreme excitement, but decisions made during emotionally heightened moments frequently lead to poor judgment and eventual regret. Being a responsible, steady holder means remaining fully informed, maintaining a realistic outlook, and staying absolutely grounded. Today's video provides you with the essential mental tools to do exactly that, especially when confronted with dramatic, unverified claims like the alleged $2.31 fixed rate. With that practical advice in mind, let us explore the complex reasons why some people hold a staunch belief in these rumors even in the face of compelling evidence that they lack verification. A major contributing factor is the sheer force of repetition. When a specific rumor is repeated relentlessly over a period of years, it gradually starts to feel inherently familiar. And familiarity, in the human mind, often carries the weight of truth, even when zero evidence exists to support the claim. Another powerful reason is community influence. If your social circle, friends, relatives, or online groups talks about a rumor as if it is an established fact, it becomes incredibly challenging to question its validity. The $2.31 rumor has benefited enormously from both relentless repetition and strong community reinforcement. It has been a topic of discussion for such a long time that many people unconsciously assume it must possess some underlying foundation of truth. But, as we have demonstrated, today, familiarity is not equivalent to official verification. This is why focused, responsible channels like this one are vital. They inject perspective and clarity, effectively breaking the cycle of emotional belief. By understanding the powerful effect of repetition on belief, you gain the intellectual capacity to stay grounded and avoid being swept away by the emotional tides of pure speculation. It is also informative to examine the deep psychological appeal of dramatic financial rumors. Human beings are naturally attracted to narratives that promise sudden, significant opportunity or rapid, life-altering improvement. This is the same psychological mechanism that fuels interest in lottery tickets, investment hype, and sensational get-rich-quick narratives. The difference here is that currency rumors often sound significantly more serious and plausible because they are presented as genuine economic updates rather than mere fantasies. When people hear a statement like, "The dinar is now valued at $2.31, it taps into a deeply resonant emotional landscape: hope, potential relief, excitement, and high expectation. These powerful emotions make the claim feel considerably larger and more believable than its actual factual basis warrants. Understanding this inherent emotional effect is critical to safeguarding yourself against the corrosive influence of misinformation. Today's script breaks down these concepts not just through a logical lens but also a psychological one. When you understand how your own emotions interact with and fuel the rumor cycle, you are far better equipped to analyze all information calmly, intelligently, and with profound skepticism. Another layer of complexity worth addressing is how intricate global economic discussions are frequently oversimplified or fundamentally misunderstood in online environments. The true valuation of a national currency is an immensely complex subject. It involves a host of interconnected, real-world factors, including current inflation levels, the status of international reserves, governmental fiscal policies, the national trade balance, and much more. However, when these complex topics are transmuted into rumors, the necessary complexity is stripped away, and only the sensational, exciting part remains. Someone might take a minuscule fragment of economic data and aggressively inflate it into a massive, overarching claim. Or they might misunderstand a specific financial term and subsequently spin it into a dramatic, misleading narrative. The $2.31 claim fits this pattern precisely. It takes the complex subject of currency valuation and ruthlessly reduces it to a single context-free number. This is why channels that prioritize context, accuracy, and depth, like this one, are so important. They restore the necessary context to the conversation, re-establish factual accuracy, and help viewers grasp the comprehensive reality instead of the dramatically truncated rumor version of the story. Now, let us explore the precise language people use when discussing the $2.31 rumor. In numerous online discussions, individuals assert that the rate is confirmed, in motion, or even already active behind the scenes. They detail scenarios of banks being secretly prepared, financial systems being quietly updated, and global financial partners working discreetly outside of public view. These types of statements skillfully create the potent illusion that a major, definite event is currently transpiring just outside the public sight. Yet, authentic, regulated financial systems simply do not operate through secret channels or hidden windows. When a country undertakes an adjustment of its currency, it is a transparent act. It becomes immediately and openly visible on every regulated financial platform worldwide. Therefore, when individuals claim that the $2.31 rate is actively functional in secret, that assertion alone serves as powerful evidence that the claim is a rumor, and decisively not a verified fact. Despite this clear logical contradiction, people continue to discuss it because it strongly aligns with their deepest hopes. This video empowers you to listen to the conversation, understand its emotional drivers, while still remaining absolutely rooted in verifiable financial reality. Finally, let's bring the focus back to you, the informed viewer and holder. You deserve clarity, you deserve honesty, and you deserve a realistic, grounded perspective. You deserve information that respects your intelligence and does not attempt to exploit your hopes or emotions. In today's digital landscape, misinformation travels faster and wider than ever before. That is the fundamental reason why this channel is dedicated to providing clear, responsible explanations instead of emotional hype or undue speculation. When you encounter a bold claim, such as the dinar is now $2.31, you must always return to this single irrefutable principle. If it is real, it will be public. If it is not public, it is not confirmed. This is a simple rule, a strong rule, and an unfailingly reliable rule. Equipped with this principle, you can navigate these conversations with calmness, confidence, and unwavering assurance. You are not obligated to succumb to drama, external pressure, or any exaggerated claims. You can remain steady, realistic, and supremely well-informed. To conclude today's comprehensive and extended breakdown, let us consolidate the essential message derived from all this discussion. The claim that the Iraqi dinar has attained a fixed rate of $2.31 is undeniably a widely circulated conversation point in 2025. But the fact that people are talking about it does not, in any way, render it officially verified. It remains a conversation, a widely shared belief, but definitively not a confirmed financial update. This specific number spreads because it is emotionally charged, highly specific, dramatically appealing, and powerfully hopeful. But your strength as a holder comes from your commitment to remaining informed, staying grounded in objective reality, and consistently separating unverified rumor from verifiable fact. In today's script, we meticulously walked through the psychological factors that cause these claims to spread, the mechanisms by which they gain community traction, the emotional reasons people respond so intensely, and the responsible steps you can take to protect yourself from misinformation while still actively participating in the community discussion. Dinar Shift is dedicated to bringing you this level of deep, clear, and honest analysis. If you found genuine value in this responsible breakdown, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate your notifications so you always receive grounded, objective, and responsible updates. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay smart, and remember, while the conversation is certainly interesting, official confirmations must always originate from recognized authoritative sources.